Hi, and welcome to week 14 of English 152. It's good to have you back with us. Again, this is another transition week. Week 14 marks the due date for our final draft of our persuasive paper, which means we're transitioning into our last unit, our group communication unit, which resolves itself with our short, to-the-point oral presentation. And these next 3 weeks, really to the end of the course, build the foundation for that presentation. They tell us what we're talking about, how we're talking about it, and help to bring the assignment, the oral presentation, the speech presentation, into focus. So we'll jump right into it. And basically what we're doing with this group communication unit is we're breaking it down into 3 parts over the next 3 weeks, week 14, 15, and 16. And we're talking ostensibly about considering social media, online presence in the modern age. And again, I think it's not too far-fetched to see the dynamic of business moving, well, it's been moving, but definitely moving further and further toward a cyber grounding, right? A cyber foundation where being online is a major mode of commerce. It's an incredibly major mode of marketing and advertising. And we're not just talking about corporate websites anymore, right? We're talking about social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, any of these modalities that allow us to reach a broader audience. I think that businesses and occupational endeavors are starting to catch on to these things and are using them to their favor. But of course, with great power comes great responsibility, and we have to use them sensibly. We have to use them wisely. And I think this will give us a chance to talk about what are these social media? What are these online modes of communication, of business professional communication? And how do we use them not only as a business, but how do we responsibly navigate, use them to our benefit as an individual in social realms, in professional realms, in academic realms, and business professional realms, right? So we're going to start off with a poem that was originally published in the New Yorker. It's an actual sonnet, a Shakespearean sonnet, from a Native American writer, Sherman Alexie, who's one of my favorites. And Sherman Alexie talks about Facebook, right? What is it? Why is it important? How does it affect us, right? And it's a rather old poem that he wrote, and I think if he was to rewrite it now in 2015, things would have changed even more, right? And the dynamic would be arguably even more serious for him. We have a link here on the class notes to an interview where he reads it on the Bill Moyers show. And what I'm asking you to do is think about this poem, digest it, run it through the lens, the critical lens of your own experience and the experience of individuals that you know, both socially, professionally, occupationally, and basically think, what's Alexie up to? What's he saying? Is he warning us? Is he attempting to educate us? Is he critically expounding upon some notion that we've already considered or have yet to consider, and what are the effects of that notion? And then I want you to divide yourselves, pick 1 or 2 groups, right? Group A or Group B. And basically I've outlined in the course notes what these 2 groups entail. They're basically split by saying, social media, if you're part of Group B, well, let's start with Group A, that social media should be private and should not be viewed or considered by potential employers for hiring purposes or accessed by current employers to judge, what you're up to while you're on the job, but also outside of the job. And Group B says, social media is essentially private, but hey, it's on the internet, it's public, and we should be aware of how we represent ourselves out in the world, and how that's captured within not only our own social media, but the social media of friends who might tag us in photos or tag us in status updates and things like that. And so with that in mind, if you agree with Group A or agree with the parameters of Group B, I'd ask you for discussion board number 8 to briefly answer just 1 of the 4 discussion questions, right? As you're posting on the discussion board, please be sure to say whether or not you're part of Group B or Group A, right? And the 4 questions are posted right here, right? What does Alexie mean when he refers to Facebook as the endless high school? Right? Does he intend this to be positive or negative attribute? Right? Question number 2 that you can choose from, why do you think people pretend online? right? If people do pretend, why might this be problematic, or how is it problematic? Question 3 that you could choose is, why might Alexei mean when he writes, let fame and shame intertwine? Do you think one of these things, either fame or shame, is negative, while the other is generally considered positive? And then lastly, if social media's intention, or at least one of its argued intentions, is to bring people together, right? Why might Alexei state that we sign up, sign in, and confess here at the altar of loneliness, right? And this will launch us forward into week 15. We'll hear a response to Sherman Alexei's Facebook sign-in from, of all people, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis of the hip-hop world, Seattle hip-hop world. And that'll move us forward, closer and closer to, obviously, the completion of that final speech. So again, thank you for your attention during week 14. I look forward to seeing you during week 15. And if you have any questions about anything that we've done so far, or that we're moving into here in these coming weeks, please don't hesitate to let me know. You can email, you can call, or you can stop by during office hours. And I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, be well. Thanks.